Hello and welcome to day one of Manifest Your Seven Figure Business Challenge. I am so excited to have you here with us. Today, I am so happy that we are talking about how to manifest more clarity in your business and how to use that to attract your soulmate clients. And today we are pleased to be speaking with Lakshmia Marie as well as Chantel Brewster about their challenges that they have had with attracting their soulmate client, as well as how they are overcoming these challenges. So we will chat with them in just a little bit, but we have been in the challenge now for a few days. And I've been hearing from many of you about how you've already started manifesting things. Some of you have been getting some magazine covers. I've seen some loan approvals. I've seen some money. And so I just want to chat with Lakshmia and Chantel about the results that they've been seeing so far and how they have been enjoying the challenge. So I want to bring the ladies up into the studio and just chat about what they have seen so far since they have joined the challenge. So welcome, Chantel. Welcome, Lakshmia. Thank you for joining us.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. How are you tonight?
I'm
Good.
doing good. A little tired, but overall, my energy is up.
Very good. So before we get started, tell me a little bit about who you are and what your business is.
Mhm. All right, so I'm Chantel Brewster. I am a marriage and family therapist, and also I do coaching around relationships, couples who have been divorced and are now in new relationships and new relationships and working on trauma from previous relationships. Um, I'm located in Connecticut, and I think that's it.
Okay, very good. Nice to meet you. And Lakshmia?
I am Lashmia. Hey, y'all. I am a business strategist and a success coach. I primarily work with women who are transitioning from their 9 to 5 into their own businesses, primarily service based businesses. I'm based in Atlanta currently, but that will be changing. And I'm happy to be here with y'all.
Okay, very good. You're manifesting a move. Tell us about it.
Yes, I am manifesting a move to Chicago, actually. I'm looking to move into a luxury apartment um, and be near a lake. I miss water. I miss water. I miss like being in a true city. I do currently live in Atlanta, but it's different. Trust me. If you've ever been here, you understand what I mean. Um, and so that's the one of the big goals right now is that move.
Okay, very nice. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet both of you. So tell us about your experience with the challenge so far. So both of you joined early on in the challenge. So you have been here since pre-challenge. What's the energy been like since you've joined?
Hi.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yes.
There's some
Mhm.
static on my end, so I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay, no problem. So you said that the energy has been high. Tell me about that.
Yes. Like it feels like electricity has been like buzzing around me. Like I haven't felt like this in years. And I'm being so honest right now. It's been a long time since I felt like this. And it's kind of motivated me to actually take more action than to kind of just kind of sit on the sidelines and just wait, hope, wish that things will, change. I'm actually active in my change and it
Mhm,
feels good.
mhm. You know, it's interesting because it's been a while since I've done a free challenge. Usually my challenges are paid or they are inside of one of my courses. And that is the first thing, honestly, that I've noticed that has been different about this than free challenges. And obviously, this is a challenge that I put together. But I'm not just saying that because it's my challenge, but seeing the commitment of the people in this group, seeing how everyone is not only encouraging other people, but the energy and how high it is, it really has been incredible. So,
Absolutely.
I'm really excited to see, and we are just on day one. So
Right.
I'm really excited. Chantel, tell me about your experience so far.
Sure. So as of 5 p.m. Eastern time, I gained 2 new clients.
Okay.
Mhm. um, the pre-challenge itself, it really helped me to expand on what exact to be more specific on exactly what it is I want to manifest within these next 5 days. I think initially I have broadened it a bit, like say for instance, I'm just going to call a number out. Oh, I want to manifest $500,000 into my business, by let's say the end of this month. We know that might not happen, and so I want to like hone in on that and like just focus on a particular number that can help me this month. Um, so that's where I'm at with that, and so far I feel good.
Good. Excellent. So we will be back to talk with Chantel a little bit later. But thank you so much for sharing your experience. I cannot wait to hear about these 2 clients that you've manifested.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about this energy that you've been feeling. So thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Alrighty, so Lakshmiya, today you are sharing about some clarity that you are desiring to gain when it comes to your target client. So tell me a little bit about the struggles that you've been finding when it comes to attracting and identifying the clients you want to work with.
It's been like a twofold problem. Part of it is me. Like I've somehow developed a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of fear with like moving to the next level in my life and my business. And that's kind of come out in how I've been attracting clients. And the other portion is I realize a lot of people that have been in my target market are no longer in my target market. Like I've elevated, therefore the type of clients that I'm looking to have has also changed. And that's been a struggle because um, sometimes we fear change. I am one of those people that fear change a little bit, even if it's good, if it's bad and different, I fear it. And I feel like I've been manifesting from the place of fear instead of a place of like joy and clarity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the things that we talked about today, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Whether we are manifesting from our faith or from our fear, we are always manifesting. And, you just said something so poignant that as we elevate, our target market elevates. And I think that's something that we aren't always mindful of. When we first get into business, we set our target market and that's where we stay. Like, this is who I work with. This is what I'm doing, and we kind of stay there, and we don't realize that as we grow, our target has to grow with us. So tell me a little bit about who you have been working with to this point.
Ironically enough, completely different than what I've been doing before. I've been working with corporate clients. So I've been working with like Fortune 100 clients. I've been working with Fortune 500 clients. And I want to pivot a little bit and go back into working with smaller businesses, because I realized that the big clients are great and all, but I really have a knack for helping smaller businesses and helping them grow.
Okay. So of course, the first part of getting clear about your intention is getting clarity about why this is important for you. So why does this matter?
It matters because I'm going to sound very passionate, but I'm very passionate, especially about Black women in business, growing, thriving, and being super successful. Like we represent such a large, big group of the, entrepreneurship puzzle, but we don't get as much opportunities for various reasons. And I want to see more of us succeed. And I realized when I was working with the bigger companies, a lot of the principles that they work with are similar to the smaller companies. They just have bigger money. That's the only difference. And I realized that the problems I'm solving for them, I can solve for smaller businesses and help them elevate to whatever level that they want to be in. If they want to be in the Fortune 500 and the Fortune 100, we can do that together if that's what they want. If they just want to be able to, give back to their communities, build up whatever generational wealth is to them, I can help them with that. And being able to do that would be a part of my like life's mission and purpose. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is currently missing for that market?
Two things to me, strategy and money. Usually I've seen when things are targeted towards that group, it's usually like, oh, let's do some free mentorship, or let's do like a really competitive grant competition and make everyone pit each other against each other. And it's like, okay, we can't get anything else. Can we not actually get true support? Can we not actually get real money? And I realize the more visibility you have, the more inclined you're going to be to actually get more funding, more grants, and actually just more revenue in general. And so we need to be able to put ourselves out there to the right audience for us and let ourselves grow and not really be worried about different things like, what the next person is doing, what our other counterparts are doing, just being able to shine our own light. And I think that's not emphasized enough for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few questions now about your target audience. So I think I'm pretty clear on what you bring to the table. It's obvious that you have a lot of skills that you can support your client with. I know that you just released a course.
Yes,
And
I did.
at the end of this, I absolutely would love you to plug your course because I know that there are some people watching who can benefit from your course. So please share the information for how they can purchase that. But I know that you bring a lot to the table that you can support your clients with. So I want to hear about exactly who is needing this. So before we get into that, can you actually just get really comfortable in your chair?
Okay.
Clearly, I don't know how to work StreamYard, y'all. Alrighty. So apparently I'm going to stay up here with you since I don't know how to work this StreamYard thing.
It's all good.
So go ahead and get comfortable. And I just want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to visualize that you have a roster full at whatever level of capacity you want with the clients that you desire to attract. And the first question is, what does this client look like? So when I ask what she looks like, personality-wise, and have you completed today's challenge homework?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Personality-wise, if you have any specific personality type, any human design, any Enneagrams, what does that look like for you?
I have my notes, so I'll pull that out. My ideal client has a really bubbly personality. They may not be able to always showcase that necessarily in business, but they definitely have a personality. They are not, boring. They're not stiff or any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. They enjoy having joy. They're very charming. They're very kind. They actually enjoy giving back to their communities, whatever that looks like to them. They're usually manifesting generators or projectors. And they have a life outside of just business. They actually go out, they have friends, they're pretty independent. They also believe in actually having a mission for themselves. So a lot of times the type of clients that I attract are the ones that have social causes. Like they actually donate to them, they're actually active in them. And it's not just smoke and mirrors. They're not just like, oh, I do this, but you can actually see it. You can hear it. They talk about it. They're very passionate about it, just like it's their business, even if it's not. And they typically are urban. They're urban, city people, kind of like me. And they're into technology. So they're not necessarily like super media trends as well.
Okay. So when it comes to the causes that this person supports, can you tell me about some of these causes? Uh-oh, I think we glitched
Oh,
for a
did you
second.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. You said that she supports a lot of causes. Can you tell me about some of the causes she supports?
Of course, they usually support domestic violence situations, like shelters, organizations that help with that, things with kids, things with animals, causes like similar to Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. They're very active in causes like that because it impacts them either indirectly or directly, and they show support openly.
Mm-hmm. So I was just going to ask why those causes are so dear to them. What is their history with that?
They've had family and friends that have been impacted by quite a bit of these causes, and so that left a mark on them to actually be active and truly support the causes so that people don't actually have to go back to previous situations or feel like they're unsafe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What does their support network look like?
They have some, business besties, and their inner circle outside of that also supports them. So, like family, friends, they're usually not in business, just their local ecosystem, so to speak.
Okay. And it sounds like she has an awful lot of pressure because she's building. What does, I mean, I'm hearing the biz besties, but there's still a whole lot of pressure on her shoulders. Where is she getting support at the level of pressure that she's carrying?
She's not, and that's what's causing some of the problems in her business.
Okay. So tell me about how you will be providing support for that. It sounds like community is something that she's needing. She provides a safe space for others. Is that something that you provide for her?
Absolutely. I provide community. I also provide strategy as well as coaching. Like I have a little bit of a hybrid thing going on in my business. Sometimes you need a coach, sometimes you need a strategist. And it's my job to know when to put on those hats for that person. And giving them support that they may not know they need. So they may not know that they actually may need, for example, in the community that I'm building, they'll have access to a copywriter and a lawyer. And if they're into spirituality, someone that can help on that front as well. So they can actually feel the extra support and not feel like they have to burden their family, their friends, or even their biz besties. Because that's probably the main feeling they're feeling right now.
And so what's coming up intuitively is, does she know that?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So often our job as service providers is to be the bridge between her pain and her desire. And sometimes simply letting her know that the bridge exists is enough. Yeah. It sounds like you actually have quite a bit of clarity. It's simply letting her know.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to all that you are creating. I actually would like to give you a gift. So the homework assignment that I gave is just a very small part of my client archetype workbook. And so I would like to gift you the full client archetype workbook, which my clients kind of sometimes they curse me out. But I know that it will give you a lot of clarity as you are working through really getting to the heart of the messaging behind how to connect with your audience. At the end of that workbook, you actually write a letter to your soulmate client. And so I think that that will really help you dial down the copywriting that lets your audience know, hey, I'm here, and this is what I have to offer you. And so after we hang up, I actually want to give you a copy of that. But it sounds like you have quite a bit of clarity around who she is. And now it's just a matter of letting her know that you're here to support her.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about the course that you just launched and who it's for and where we can sign up.
Ooh, so I have launched a course called Customer Service for Entrepreneurs and Small Businesses. And it is pretty much straightforward of what I just said. It's about customer service, but on the scale of how smaller businesses can implement it in their business, like learn about what it is, like what customer service is, the differences between customer service versus support, because I've seen a lot of smaller businesses interchangeably use the term, and they're not interchangeable. And that's caused a little bit of confusion in their business as well as when they're hiring people. We even cover how to hire people. We cover how to create a process. So you actually, at the end of the course, you will have a full-fledged plan of how to implement the customer service into your brand, who to hire, and the timeline of how everything is supposed to be. You can purchase that. I'll give you a link. It's a Thinkific link. It's a course that's on there. You're more than welcome to purchase that if that applies to you. It's perfect for even the solopreneur, because I speak a lot in the beginning to the solopreneur. That's usually the person that has 11 hats and is trying to balance everything. And then they have one bad social media interaction that is customer service related. It goes viral and everything just kind of explodes. I'm going to teach you how to handle that before it happens, so you don't have to worry about it damaging your reputation or your business either.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us, Lakshmi.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Absolutely. All righty. You have a good one. We'll see you soon. Hey there, Chantel. How's it going?
Hey, good.
All righty. So Chantel is one of my VIP clients. And Chantel, tell us a little bit about who you are and who you serve.
Sure. So again, my name is Chantel Brewster. I am a marriage and family therapist. I'm also a relationship coach. I pretty much cater to individual, couples, partners who are divorced and are currently in new relationships. And the focus of, that dynamics is basically to, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Basically to, explore like trauma and any challenges that they've experienced in their past marriages. And so that is my focus, my ideal client, my focus client.
Okay, very good. So tell me a little bit about some of the challenges that you've had around clarity and attracting your target client in the past.
Yes. So for me, the biggest thing was figuring out exactly what my target audience is. And so I found that on social media, I have mostly family and friends who aren't my target audience, and I need to broaden that area, being connected with other individuals and other groups that may have, you know, individuals who are going through those experiences, or know someone who are going through those similar experiences, who they can refer to me. Another big piece for me, gaining clarity, is that another big thing for me is just getting an understanding, an idea of exactly how I plan to, to reach that target audience.
Yes. So I think that tends to be the number one thing that new entrepreneurs do, right?
Right.
Business, and it's on your page. And the first thing that you do is start talking to the people who are already on your page and assume that everyone is going to be your target client because, these are your friends, these are your homies. So
Right.
they should be sharing at minimum, supporting. But the truth is that most of the people who are supporting you, they support you because they grew up with you. Of course, they're going to support what you do.
Right.
They really don't need your services.
Right.
So the thing that we have been working on is really getting crystal clear about where to find these people. But the good thing is that you actually can use your friends for your benefit. So, this isn't to say to get rid of these friends. One way that you can have your friends help you out. Friends are wonderful for referral marketing. Friends are wonderful for helping to get the word out about your programs. Friends are amazing. Whenever you release group programs, but again, they're probably not going to be your target market. And you have so much space. You have 5,000 spots that you can be filling up with your target client. And so the very first thing is getting clear on who that client is. So let's talk about who is this target client. So you recently had a major revelation. Tell me about the revelation that you had.
So what happened was, initially I started out doing relationship coaching, which that's one of the areas that I really enjoy. And then I took a minute. I don't know what happened. Something came over me. And so I was thinking, and then I'm like, okay, so I know that there's couples who are in relationships now, who have been divorced who are divorced, and they're struggling to meet the demands of the new relationship, especially because they weren't able to process the ending of the divorce. And so I'm like, okay, I also went through a similar experience, and so who better than myself to help these clients understand the process and actually work through the things that they've been through in the past. And so I started to do some research on, basically like the statistics behind divorcing with families, and, incorporating like step families, how is that working out, and things that come up for them. A lot of trauma has been coming up. And so that is my new target, my new ideal client at this point.
Okay, very good. And quite often, as we have discussed, you will find that your best target client is generally the person that you once were. That is often the person that you can help get the best results for.
Yes.
The person, excuse me, should probably get some water. The person that you were several steps ahead.
Yeah.
Right. And so since you have found this new clarity, and since we have been doing this work to really get clear on exactly what this person's pain points are, what this person's desires are, tell me a little bit about what you've discovered.
So their pain points are they have avoidant attachment styles. They're again the trauma. There's trauma there. I wrote it down, so I have to look back at my notes. They're in high, they're in high position jobs, right? So they have surface friends. They don't allow people to get close to them because they're afraid that if these people see who they truly are, that it's going to be an issue. They have fear. They're very fearful about getting close to other people.
So you just mentioned something that, was so specific. You talked about their attachment style. And obviously that's something that most people might not know if they're not a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing their attachment style, if that's not crystal clear intention,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is.
Right.
But since you have been able to pinpoint that level of clarity,
Mm-hmm.
have you found that you've been able to attract your client any easier?
A lot easier. Like I said, the 2 clients that I gained today, one of them actually, perfect example, going through the same thing. They have the avoidant attachment style, and so they're finding that they are avoiding people. They're not allowing people to get too close to them, and so that really gave me the courage, like the encouragement, like, oh my gosh, this person is ideal for what I, for my my coaching.
Okay, very good. So tell me a little bit about, so we talked about their attachment style. We talked a little bit about how that shows up in their relationship and how that affects the relationship dynamic between them and their partner. We also talked about their community and what that support looks like for them. And again, how that affects their relationship. In our last session, we actually talked about the reason that they would end up needing therapy from you in the first place, as a result of that attachment style and what their social groups look like, and went really deep into how that attachment style shows up. And so having that type of clarity when you are writing posts to this client, or when you are doing a video, for example, and talking to this client, does it affect the level of confidence that you have when you are wanting to speak to this client?
I would say no.
Okay.
I think for me, the biggest thing is actually just showing up on camera. This is my area, this is my expertise. So for me, actually talking to my ideal client is actually going to boost my confidence because I do know who I'm speaking to. I understand what their struggles are, what they're feeling inside, right? They're hiding. And so, they appear to be an extrovert on the outside, but internally they're dying for someone to see them. And because they're so fearful of someone actually seeing them and, the possibility of judging them, they try to keep people at, arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
So with those examples, I can, because again, I've been there, so I know this stuff firsthand. And so with those examples, the experiences that I have, I will be able to approach it from that standpoint.
Okay. Absolutely. So what I'm hearing you say is that by knowing them more intimately, it's not so much the knowing their attachment style that makes you feel more confident, but actually knowing who you're speaking to that gives you the confidence. Because, okay, very good. So now that you are out here just booking clients, right? Tell me about what is next for you. I know that you are desiring to create some new programs. How does that affect the type of programs that you can create now that you know who you're creating them for?
How does it affect it?
Yeah, now that you know who you're creating it for versus when it was kind of more general and you were creating it for everyone.
Mm-hmm. So the program that I'm trying to create will be a hybrid program. So it'll be focused on that particular client, ideal client. So what that packaging will look like when I
Without giving away too much
oh
sauce, they don't need to know all
it'll be
that.
a hybrid program. That's all I have. But it will be catered towards the couple, right? Plus the individual. My ideal client will be both male and female. I want to get the entire component in there, not working with just one of them, but both genders will be very helpful for a healthy and long-lasting relationship. So the program that I'm going to be putting together will be something like that. Possibly some group stuff, but stay tuned.
I love it. Okay. Um, and last question. So I know, it's been a little while
Mhm.
because initially you didn't really have the clarity and there
Right.
was some frustration there and
Mhm.
you were wanting to launch some things. You actually had launched some things. You launched
Mhm.
your self-care group and there were things that you were working on.
Mhm.
So tell me about the ease that you are feeling now, or are you feeling ease versus when you were creating programs before?
Mhm.
Is there any difference for you?
Of course, there's a difference. I feel I have more clarity. Everything is more crystal clear for me. Prior to that, it was more of a this is what I want to do, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to put this together because again, I didn't have that clarity, and so while working with you, of course, and continuing to like process and do some research and actually sit with it and like is this something that I know I can provide to my clients, right? And so for me the biggest thing was actually gaining that clarity. um a lot of manifesting, a lot of meditation, just sitting with myself and being present so that everything can come to me. That was what was really helpful.
I love it. Okay. Very
Mhm.
good. Well, thank you very much for sharing. So, for those couples who are wanting to work with you to heal their relationship so that they can be the best version of themselves and attract the love that they desire, how can they contact you?
Sure. They can book me on, for consultation on Acuity. So acuity.chantelbrewster.as.me.
Okay. Very good. So, chantelbrewster.as.me. And is there anything else that you would like to share about what you're working on or anything before we go?
Nope, that's it. Mhm.
Okay, very good. Well, I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Mhm.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Same here.
Alrighty, guys. So that is tonight's show. I will see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for day 2 of the Manifest Your Seven Figure Business Challenge, where we are talking about the importance of asking so you can receive. It has been such a pleasure to have you in this challenge. If you have not caught up on your homework, make sure that you catch up because tomorrow we are talking all about how to craft your irresistible offer. I will see you in the room. Abundance awaits. Have an amazing rest of your night. Blessings.